What up my awesome viewers, it is Ryan here, and in today's video I figured I'd go through the car line by line or edge by edge, detail by detail, and just sort of sit back, relax, and this is probably going to be one of the longer videos of the channel. Okay, so the first things first is that we're going to take a look at this particular line right here that goes all the way towards the door and it ends somewhere at the gas cap. That's a pretty cool line. Here's this particular angle to look at it. And one of the things that I like about this car when I first purchased it is that it's not two colors. So what do I mean by two colors, right? Is that if a car has been into an accident, and let's say that the bumper was repainted, okay, this color and this color here is gonna look slightly off. There's gonna be like a slightly different shade where this is gonna be darker, this is gonna be brighter, or it could be the other way around. And when I first got this car, I did not notice that. Now, when it comes to buying a used car, that's something that you're gonna have to pay attention to. Even though the Carfax show that it's clean, if the car is two colors, that means that it has been into an accident, even though it's minor. And if the accident is minor and either the bumpers or certain panels have to be repainted, they might not show in the Carfax, which is not good because a Carfax can show that it's clean, but it's actually not clean. And then this particular car has, so what happened here, right, for my particular car was that when I bought it, this wasn't there. But what happened was that one fateful day when I was just stopped at a red light, like a rock fell and hit this, and I heard a loud noise, and I was like, oh man, something happened. And like I knew something happened, but I just didn't know how bad it is. And like, I'm not even sure if you guys can see it or not. It's right here. This is bird poop, so that can be wiped out. But this right here, this is something that's going to be permanently there, because I don't want to repaint the door just for this little ding. I don't think it's worth it. But it's right there, and that's gonna bother me for quite a while. And yeah, that's something that I'm probably gonna get over it eventually. And then there's also like a separation here. I think it's probably room so then you can put like that deck lid spoiler on it. I don't think this counts as a spoiler because it looks different if you have the HFP edition of the car. And then this particular model is the 4-cylinder, so you do have the single outlet exhaust, which is something I plan on getting another one. Like, I'm not sure how, I'm not sure who sells it, because I actually call like Honda parts and servicing, and it doesn't look like they have just another one. And then I might have to do something where I do the aftermarket and do like the true dual exhaust from like Takeda or Borla, but that's something down the line. For now, I'm just gonna keep it as it is and just daily it. And then, oh, there are vents. Are these real? These are not. These are not real vents. They're all plugged up. Okay. There's a little chrome strip on the bottom. There's the Accord, and there's nothing here because it's not the V6. If it's the V6, I think it should say V6 here. Here's the Honda emblem. I know that a lot of people would replace it with the red one, but I think this one looks fine. It's a pretty decent contrast to the blue, and Speaking about the blue, man, this is a very nice blue. This is like, it looks different how you angle the car. Like at night, this car downright looks like it's purple, but then in the sunlight, you can see the blue that's being reflected off. And this is a very nice paint color, which is awesome. And I love it. It's an awesome paint color. But the downside to this particular paint color is that if something does happen, I feel like the paint is gonna cost an arm and a leg. I don't actually know how much it would actually be, but I feel like it's gonna cost me an arm and a leg just to get something repainted. And I seriously hope that that's not gonna happen. But that's pretty much it for there. And then now we go on to the tires. The tires. This is a 235 1.4. I think that's a 1. That's either a 1 or a dash. So it's a 235 45R18. So this is an 18-inch wheel. Okay. The wheel looks very nice. Like, before I actually got this one, I was looking into the 2013 to 2015 Accord Coupes, and that one, like that wheel, to be honest, I think it looks kind of ugly. And my plan, if I were back then, if I were to actually get that car, is to replace the wheel with the Honda factory performance wheels. That one looks really cool. But then after getting this particular car, I don't think I'm going to be replacing the wheels, because man, the wheels, it looks really, really awesome. Like, I very much like these wheels. And one of the things too to watch out for if you're buying a used version is look at the wheels and see if there's any scratches, or they call them wheel rash. And in this particular one, that right here, this is something that can be wiped out, so that's not bad. And then check out all 4 wheels. If you notice, when I first got the car, I actually looked at that too, and then I noticed, okay, so all 4 of the wheels are clean, as in, like, it's not scratched up. If it's dirty, it's wipeable, that's fine, that's not a problem. But if there's scratches on these wheels, it can be pretty expensive to replace them. In terms of how much, I do not know, but I feel like it's expensive. And then one of the things, besides the 2 colors, right, is that the thing that goes well is when you look at the panels, if you were to push it, right, if it feels solid, and that's how you know that it's a solid car. Because if you push the panels, right, and it feels loose, that means that panel has probably been replaced before, and it's something to keep an eye out for. Now, for these little minuscule details, this is something where if you are very meticulous about buying a used car, that is something to look out for. But if you don't care about if the car has been repainted, or the car has been in an accident before, and if you feel like the price is right, I mean, it's up to you to purchase the car, it is your money, but it's just some of the things that I notice when it's like my turn to buy a used car. It's something that I notice that I have to pay attention to, and then just kind of keep an eye out for. So those are some of the things that I would recommend. And oh, this was here right in the beginning. This was already like that, and it was something that it was acceptable to me, because this is a used car. This is something that I can accept, as in I know the car is not going to be perfect. There's going to be little blemishes and things like that. So this is something that is considered acceptable to my standards, where the price is okay. The price is being adjusted to how the condition of the car is. Alright, that's fair enough. And then is it also pretty much some of the exterior things to watch out for, and then some of the interior things is that you want to make sure all of the buttons work. So I would say push every single button, make sure everything works how the way it should. And most likely when you buy a used car from like a dealer, they tend to fix those things, so you would not notice it as much. But if you plan on buying a car from a private party, that's something you want to watch out for. Is that maybe the owner or the seller does not know, maybe they do know, and then they intentionally not put it in the description or something like that. It's kind of up to you to do your due diligence and test everything to make sure that everything works. And then now that for some reason we have the car buying advice out of the way, now it's on to the features of the car. One of the things that I noticed, even though this is a EX model, my particular car has remote start and the car is now locked. So if you hold this, there you go, that turns on. And hold it again, it turns off. That's pretty cool. And then we do the thing where we push the unlock buttons. Hold it. And the windows roll down. That's pretty cool. And then lock it. Hold it. Does it roll back up? It sadly does not. So that means that we had to do the thing with the manual key to roll everything back up. Alright, because the smart key has a manual key, has like a steel key right here, and you would have to plug it into the keyhole. I think that's probably unlock. Alright, because 2 beeps. Okay, lock, hold it, and then the windows roll back up. Then now it's time to put everything into using one hand. That could be a little bit more difficult. Might angle the camera a little bit weird. Alright, there you go. Cool. And here's what the key looks like. This is a surprisingly solid key for the fact that this is a Honda. Like, I've seen some of the smart keys from Toyota and they do not look and feel like this kind of quality, which is very good for the fact that this is not an Acura, it's a Honda. And then up here, I'm gonna give you guys a exhaust clip. I'm gonna use the remote start. I'm gonna lock it. Remote start. It has a nice deep exhaust for the fact that it's just a 4-cylinder. This is a pretty good exhaust sound, to be honest. So that is pretty freaking cool. And then besides that, one of the things that you guys should somewhat notice, I guess, from the differences between the 1617 and the 1315 is that this is LED. So at night, it's like 2 blades of lights. It looks really cool. If you get the 1315, it depends on the trim level. If you get like the lower end, probably the 4-cylinder, you don't have the LEDs. You have like a bulb. It's gonna look like there's like a bulb there, and then it doesn't look as good, but it's sort of like a preference kind of thing. I like the way how this looks at night. It looks very nice. And then on the front, there's also differences in the front too. So if we go into the front, if you get the 1315, there's actually like little bulbs that pop up as like your daytime running lights. And this one is one blade, the way how it pops up for a daytime running light. So I like the fact that it's one blade. I don't like the fact that it's little bulbs. But one of the things to pay attention to for these 1617s is that the daytime running lights did have a recall. So that means that there are times where this one would not light up, this one would light up, and then this one would not light up, this one would light up. It depends on your particular car. Mine, thankfully, did not have that situation, and I hope that in the future that it does not have that situation, but if it does, it needs to be replaced. And then for this particular car, because it's that EX model, you actually have LED fog lights, and I very much like these LED fog lights because they're like little bulbs instead of, because if you get the 1315, okay, it's actually a circle. It's not like a line. It's a circle, and then like again, it just depends on personal preferences if you guys like that or not. And oh, I noticed that the sunroof went down as you lock it too. Huh, that's a pretty cool feature. Then that's pretty much it in terms of like the differences between the 13 and 15 besides that. And oh, on certain models, I guess, of probably like the 13s for the EX, you don't have power seats. So for this particular model with the EX, you do have power seats, you do have lumbar control, but you do not have leather seats. You have cloth seats, and this is a preference thing. If you like leather seats, you need to get the EXL model. If you get the EX model, you have cloth seats. And with cloth seats, the benefits of cloth seats is that in hot weather like today, it's scorching out here, you don't feel as hot. It doesn't feel like it's burning when you sit down. And then besides the seats, you also do not have a leather wrapped steering wheel. Now this steering wheel here is made out of, I believe they call it urethane or plastic. It's a very similar feel to the handbrake and the shifter. So if you like a leather wrapped steering wheel, you need to look into the EXL model. If you have the EX model, you do not have leather wrapped steering wheel. With the coupe, with the sedan, that's a whole nother story because they have a sport trim and then they have the sport SE, like sport special edition, where you have leather seats and leather wrapped steering wheel, and that's pretty cool. So it also depends on what body style you go for, but if you go for the coupe and you go for the EX, just notice that you do not have leather wrapped steering wheel, and it's personal preferences. It's up to you. I think the leather wrapped steering wheel is nice, but after a while the threads will come loose. That's what I noticed in my Lexus. So that is something to keep out for if you plan on using the car for like a very, very long time, like 5, 7 plus years beyond, ride it until it breaks or something like that. That's something to keep out for if you plan on getting the EXL model. And then, oh, I also noticed like the 1315s, on some of them, they don't have garage home link. And this to me is a very important feature because like there's that gate there. That's how I get in and out. And it's nice not to actually have another remote where I can just program everything on the garage home link and then it would just open up. And then here's the visor. There's a light right there. And one of the things that I also like about this is that it moves. See, it moves. It's not stuck there. And you also don't have like, because one of the things that I notice is that there's certain visors that have a little card thing that slides, and that's cool too. That's nice, but it's not completely like this. Where like certain, if it's because it's smaller, those little cards are like a little bit smaller. That can be annoying sometimes because the sun ray can either hit at these little spots if the cards are a little too small. So I noticed that too. And then you have the oh shit handles, which is nice. And then you have a chrome door handle, which is good. And these aren't the ones, because I noticed with some Hondas, they have the ones that wrap around like this, and it's made of plastic. And those things are scary to me because I feel like they could break pretty easily. Like one of the cars that I can remember is the Acura TLX. Like they have that wrap around kind of door handle where it wraps like this and then you pull it out. And to me, for some reason, I feel like if you pull out like the upper section and pull it out like that, you have a higher chance of breaking it. It's just, it does not make me feel safe. But then again, if you guys are owners of the Acura TSX, I believe it's not the TLX, it's probably the TSX, and then if you never encounter that and I am completely wrong, please let me know because I'm pretty curious myself to find out. And another thing that I noticed is that it's both automatic windows, which is nice. One of the things from the 1315s is that you probably have one that's automatic and then one that's not automatic. So something to keep out an eye if you plan on going for the 1315s. And then this is plastic. I mean, to be honest, this is a plastic car, so you're not buying a luxury car here. So if you expect the interior to have like luxury features, then I guess find a different car because this is probably not it. But then again, you guys probably know this when going into this kind of car anyways. But yeah, this is pretty nice. There's like a little storage here, and I always use this to close the door. For some reason, if I close the door with this little handle here, it feels so much more difficult. And this is not a light door, by the way. This is a pretty heavy door. Here's what it sounds like again. Like it feels solid. And the car is like quiet. If you put up all of the windows and everything, it feels really quiet in here, which is nice. But I'm gonna have to keep the door open or else I'm going to die here in this freaking heat. And then you also have traction control, econ button, which is nice. One of the things that I've pretty much adjust myself to is the lane watch camera, because there's this one time when I was driving Dad's Camry, and I'll show you guys his Camry later on. There's one time when I was driving Dad's Camry, and then I did the turn, and for some reason I just assumed that there's a camera in the screen that's gonna pop up, and then I just make a right, and I just kind of went for it. And I was like, damn, I need to somehow be able to figure out the differences. But that was only a one-time thing. And then you have the dual screen, and to be honest, with the dual screen it's kind of ridiculous because if you don't have navigation, it's like really redundant. That thing is going to show whatever that this thing has, this thing is going to show whatever that thing has. It's just, no. But it's something that if it doesn't bother you, that's okay. If it does, and if it does bother you a lot, then you probably need to find a different car. For me, it's just kind of ridiculous, but it's not something that I would pay attention to a lot, so it's fine with me. And then, oh, this particular model, it does not have the knobs. like the way how you turn the volume is like on the screen. And I'm not sure if the camera can pick this up, but there's like little hints of like what the buttons air quotes are actually there, but they're not. And then you would have to use this to go up and down and constantly push it instead of like a dial or a knob to turn it. And I know that has been bothering a lot of people, which is why they actually added that in later on. This particular year it was not there, so that is something to watch out for. And if you absolutely need a knob, this is not a car for you. You probably need to find another car. And then there's dual climate controls, which is nice. It's interesting how the fact that this is, because it's dual climate control, I believe is more of like a luxury feature, and this is not a luxury car and it has it, which is pretty cool. And of course, let's not forget this awesome handbrake, which I've been doing it for so many times. I dedicated a video just me doing that, which is pretty cool. And in the glove box is a pretty decent space. It's pretty good in terms of room. And there's also a light here on the back for those that are sitting in the back, for those also unfortunate people that are sitting in the back. And okay, since on the topic of the back, I'm going to show you guys the back. Okay, I would not recommend climbing in the back of the driver's seat because it doesn't have this particular function. What the passenger side, right, you can just pull this thing and it moves forward. It makes it so that there's a lot of room where you can get in and out. And I climbed into the back seat before. I don't want to do it again because it's so hard for me to get out. And I'm 6 foot, by the way, but it's still really hard for me to get out. So I'm just gonna lean in and show you guys some of the things in the interior. One of the things that is not here is that there is no AC vents, so you're in the mercy of the drivers. There's really nothing else that's down there. And there is cubby space for change. And this little hole right here is technically a cup holder. I actually store my water bottle there a lot, which is nice. There's actually room for 3, which is ridiculous, but there's actually 3 seats belt, believe it or not, right there. 1, 2, and 3. So you can technically fit 3 people in the back, which is ridiculous. I don't think that will ever happen. And then there's actually a coat hook right there for you to store clothes and things like that. And then if you want to get out, there's actually a little button here. Just step on it and then you can get out. And there's also map pockets too, which is nice. And then on the passenger side, it's pretty much the same thing, except there's only one instead of 2. There's only one of the window switches. And this particular car comes with the 6 speakers. So there's a tweeter speaker there. There's 1 in the back. I think there's 2 in the back. So I think that's 6. And that's pretty much it for speakers. And oh, this seat is a manual seat, by the way. So you only get 1 electric seat. And the other one is a manual seat. So that's something that you're gonna have to be okay with, which if you're the owner driver, you don't really care because you're never really here, to be honest. You're mainly gonna be driving the car, so you have electric seats. And then there's also like this little cubby space to put receipts and junk. And I'm piling up crap in the car, which is surprising because I don't really drive this car that much. Although not Not as much as I would like to. There's really not a lot of excuses for me to drive unless I literally just want to drive the car. But yeah, there's also a sunglass holder, which is nice. The one on my Lexus back then, this for some reason the sunglasses got stuck and we could never get it out. But that car is gone now. I'm probably gonna talk about that car another day. And automatic transmission, CVT. It's you pull it back. There's no shiftable gates, so that has to be done through the paddles. And I'm pretty sure you guys noticed from watching my other videos, if you guys watch my other videos, is that I have the aftermarket paddle shifter, which is really nice. It looks like it's part of the car. And if you watch the other video, you guys notice that I will say that a lot. But yeah, it looks really nice on it. And then, is there anything else? Any other closing statement? We're 30 minutes in, which is probably a long time already for you guys. So yeah, that's pretty much all the stuff that I noticed. And here's the lane watch camera. And there you go. There's only one. There's turn signals indicator on the mirrors, which is something that's very nice. I like that a lot. And have you guys take another look at the car at this particular angle. And then that's pretty much all of the stuff that I can think about in this particular video. It's like 30 minutes in, so yeah, that's pretty much it. You guys do what you guys do best. Subscribe, like, bell, more content. Alright, you guys stay awesome now.